Hello, I'm Leo. I was one of the Young Critics last year, and I'm just here to talk a bit about my experience doing the scheme and why you should definitely apply if you're considering it. So, what is the scheme? It's now in its third year, and it's run by the Poetry Society and the T.S. Eliot Prize. It brings together 10 young people from across the UK and Ireland to basically review some poetry. You produce a 5-minute video review of one of the shortlisted collections for that year's T.S. Eliot Prize. Your video is then shared to the Poetry Society and T.S. Eliot YouTube channels and all over their socials. You also get all 10 shortlisted collections to have and to hold and to keep, as well as 2 tickets to the South Bank Centre readings for the T.S. Eliot Prize in January. The deadline this year is Sunday the 18th of August. You apply with a form, which should be linked below, and you'll need to send in a sample of your writing. It doesn't need to be a review, it can just be any non-academic prose writing that you feel conveys your enthusiasm for poetry and your ability to communicate. You can also send in an existing video review if you have one lying around. I really loved doing the scheme. It was such an amazing experience for me in so many different ways. First of all, just the poetry, like 10 books of poetry landing in the post was pretty exciting. So much range in style and subject. It was really fun to sort of live inside each of them for a little while. I was assigned Aishin Hutchinson's School of Instructions, which is one of the most brilliant sensory experiences in book form I've ever had. It was an amazing work, and I'm so grateful that I had the chance to give my take on it. Poetry can feel kind of individual sometimes, you know, you're just sitting in your room at your desk reading and writing, but it is important to remember it's a community. And you really feel that being part of a scheme like this. We had Zoom sessions every fortnight. It was nice to just see everyone's faces. And we also got a lot of support all the way through the process. I really enjoyed the kind of earlier brainstormy sessions with Helen and Sia from the Poetry Society. We got some advice from professional poetry reviewers, but also, you know, fun prompts like, how would you explain this book to your best mate? How would you explain it to your mum? And that, you know, was a really good springboard for thinking about our reviews. Producing the review itself was a lot of fun. I didn't do anything very cool in the end. I just talked to the camera and had some text on screen. But other people were super creative. There were short film style montages and cutouts on paper of the poem and graphical representations and raindrops. It was really lovely to watch everyone's come together. Obviously, the scheme doesn't exactly stop in January. We still get emails from the Poetry Society, you know, do you want to be involved in this? Would you like to contribute to the end of year book recommendations, stuff like that. The culmination of the whole thing was going to the readings at the South Bank Centre in London, just to be in a room with well over 1,000 people sitting for the length of a feature film and listening to some amazing poetry. It felt quite special, and it was so nice to be a part of it in a small way. Poetry, again, it's a small but dedicated community, and people really watched and appreciated our reviews. We had a big Zoom watch party where we watched them all together and gave each other lots of lovely comments, but we also got feedback from publishers like Faber and from the poets themselves. I was lucky enough to meet Aishin a few weeks early when he came to do a reading at my university, and then again at the South Bank Centre at the book signing after the readings. He was really lovely about the review and chatted to me a bit about his thought process behind the book, which was super cool. What have I been up to since then? Mostly busy with uni. This year I edited a book of students' poetry, prose and artwork called The Maze Anthology, which ran across 2 universities. That was a lot of fun to read hundreds of poems from other students and to produce a real book with a team of people. I definitely recommend editorial and publishing work if you're interested in poetry and poetry reviewing. There's a lot of overlap in kind of being able to discern and get an ear for what you like and don't like in a poem. Other than that, I've been trying to keep up with my own poetry. I find it quite difficult to write during term time, but I had a few poems published earlier this year. In terms of poetry reviewing, I just haven't really reached out to journals yet, but I'd love to do more of it. I really would, and hopefully I'll have the chance to later this year. I'm sure there are other people in my cohort who are way quicker than me and already have reviews lined up that you'll be able to read soon. I know a lot of people from the first year, 2022, had reviews out in Poetry Review and Poetry London and Magma. So again, the scheme doesn't just stop, it's a door to lots of other stuff in the poetry world. In terms of tips for applying, I guess just try and communicate your enthusiasm for poetry, and don't worry about the written work you send in. I was kind of worried, like, would I have a better chance if I submitted an actual video review? But in the end, I just put in an opinion piece about poetry that I'd already written for the student magazine, and that was clearly enough. If you're a poet, you should apply. If you're a poetry reviewer, you should apply. If you've never written anything, but you really enjoy reading poetry and want to dig into it on a deeper level, then you should definitely apply. Making that review was such a lovely experience for me. I hope I get to make more in the future. And yeah, really looking forward to see what everyone comes up with this year. So good luck and have fun.